Generally speaking, we're beginning to see some softness in things that look like supply chains into the housing market and some other industrial sectors. But I think the demand is certainly going to shrink below pre-pandemic levels. I think that what we're going to see very, very soon is consumers will run out of money and patience, and they will stop buying as much as they previously are. So to know how much, I would say 5 to 25% is likely to happen sooner rather than later. I hope I'm wrong. But one other thing I'd like to point out is what's going to likely happen in these inflationary high interest rate scenarios is not only is unit volume and overall aggregate demand, I think, going to shrink. I think the mix of that demand for many of our manufacturers could in fact shift. And what I mean by that, you and I would make choices in our home budgets to, instead of going out to a fine dining operation, we may go to a casual dining operation. We may, in fact, go to a grocery store and take out instead of going to a restaurant. We will make choices. And when consumers buy from a manufacturer that makes refrigerators, I made that up, they won't buy the one that's 10 grand, they'll buy the one that's 7,500 if they have to have a refrigerator. So the demand shift from higher to mid to lower could possibly also be a fairly dramatic impact on operations, supply chains, and other decision making that senior executives are going to have to make in the short, mid, and long term. I'm hopeful it will be slower rather than abrupt. But having said that, I'm getting some sensitivity from some of the clients that I work with that they're beginning to make more prudent decisions and much more cautious around the demand that they receive. And one of the solutions that I think we need to do in the near term is to be very, very prudent and dig very deeply into order patterns and make sure that what you're responding to from a fulfillment capability is in fact true demand and not aspirational demand. And what I mean by that is many sales and planning organizations respond to sales teams' hopes and aspirations as opposed to true customer demand. It's difficult to find in many settings, but now's the time to challenge your planning and front end pieces of your business to find true demand, or as close to that as they can, so that the fulfillment or the back wheel of a machine can best be prepared to respond to that. The last thing in the world you want to do is chase demand that really isn't there.